Welcome back to CricExperts, everyone, and we're at the end of this wonderful journey of strategies and auction table talks. We're ending at the Royal Challengers of Bangalore, starting with captaincy and what are the possible leadership options. Well, after Virat's shocker, everyone would agree. Well, it was needed for him to step down and focus on the batsman in him for a while. He might be coming back as a leader, as if we're going to go by the RCB chairman's words, if they do fail to find anyone at the auction. But I don't think that's a possible scenario, because Shreyas Iyer is there, David Warner is in there, Jason Holder, as some experts have been advising for, is in that auction list. Okay, possibly enough. I don't see Maxwell coming in at 3. He's definitely coming in at 4. He's established there, justified, and I think he's made a way for him. He's made a spot for him. Virat is going to open as we're listening. Shimron Hetmeyer, maybe Ambati Raidu at 5. Okay, still yet to figure the opening bit. There needs to be a keeper who's an opener if my playing 11 is to fit well. Maybe a KS Bharat.
Not necessarily. You don't always need a keeper opener. So
well,
what
Ambati Raidu is there if they get him at 5. But
so again, what I'm seeing for RCB is that there is absolutely no way that they can outbid Punjab Kings in the race for Shreyas Iyer.
Not at all.
So what I believe they should do, they can try to get him if they can get him under 15 crores. After that, I guess they should back up.
That's a likely scenario.
So I would go for David Warner.
What I'm hearing is
very well.
Delhi is going to go all out for him.
In 2016, they were the top 2 orange cap race. They were top 2 in the orange cap race. And I believe that season in 2016 for both of those batsmen, that is the top 2 records for most runs scored in a season.
Absolutely.
But just not dwelling on the past, David Warner is an extremely consistent batsman, despite what people say with his last year at SRH. We see what he did at the T20 World Cup, and obviously Virat Kohli needs no justification.
Definitely. No, so that's the top order bit. Okay, now there's a bigger problem in this setup. The finishing after ABD's exit and the death bowling, which has always been there. Harshal Patel hasn't been retained.
I guess they found in now like the leader of the pace attack in Mohammad Siraj is definitely going to bowl in the starting in the death bowl.
But who's accompanying him?
I guess they might go for a Lockie Ferguson, who is a genuine fast bowler.
He's obviously in that.
Yeah, they might go for Lockie Ferguson, or might have Prasidh Krishna, who's again a good Indian pacer to support Siraj.
Definitely Prasidh Krishna, Lockie Ferguson, I definitely see going to RCB. Prasidh Krishna, like I said previously, he has been backed in public by Virat Kohli, and I am only backing Lockie Ferguson because of the Kiwi connect with Mike Tyson. He has good eye for Kiwi talent, and obviously Lockie Ferguson is proven. So I can definitely see Lockie Ferguson coming to RCB this year.
Right.
But I think their plan A should be to get in David Warner. They should not think of getting in Shreyas Iyer and playing in another anchor along with Virat Kohli and Maxwell.
You know what?
Can go big. They can go big on David Warner, open him with Kohli, go with Bharat at 3, and then find a big hitter at 5 or a 6, and then go with an overseas pacer who can support Siraj with the conditions. And one decent spinner, I guess they could go back for they might go for a Shreyas Gopal, who knows the Karnataka conditions and all. They won't be focused on getting a spinner in very expensive, because
I don't think they'll try and get Yuzi Chahal back. They're going to leave him.
I don't think.
Gopal, I believe he can be a very good pick, because I remember that one super over. If I'm not wrong,
that was at Bangalore.
Yeah, that was at Bangalore, and Virat Kohli, AB de Villiers, and Marcus Stoinis.
Fantastic bowling, that one. Well, okay, now there's one more thing. Perhaps when so you were mentioning David Warner, they're going to go all in for him. Look, so why Iyer was suggested, basically, as a leader, there might just be a conflict of interest in Virat and Warner. Maybe, perhaps,
I guess no, Virat has taken that backseat around. Like, if he's playing under Rohit Sharma in India, he'll be playing under David Warner and RCB. And now I think he's just the player who will focus on his batting. And what I think is Shreyas Iyer, they'll be tempted to go with Shreyas Iyer because He's also a future option. He can lead the team for your next, suppose, 10 years, and David Warner will surely lead your team for next 3 or 4 years, and he might retire.
Absolutely.
But what I see in RCB is like they are right now very desperate to win. They're waiting for the trophy since 13 or 14 seasons. They're desperate to win. So certainly look, when Virat Kohli is playing for the next 4 years, they have Maxwell, they have Virat Kohli, they have 2 good batters, they have Mohammad Siraj. They have 3 players who can, like Virat Kohli also, if he bats and come back to his prime, they'll have 3 players at his prime. And David Warner, captain and former David Warner, they will have a hitter in the next 3 or 4 years that they can at least get 1 trophy out there.
Okay,
like,
now
they'll try their best for that.
Who's going to keep wickets for them? There's no ABD.
I guess they're going to go with KS Bharat back at number 3 because that's the best option.
Either going to get KS Bharat at 3 or they're going to get somebody like a Sam Billings or Tim Seifert or a Glenn Phillips who can keep at number 5 because they need to fill that AB de Villiers size
role. Number 5 has been an issue for them. Except for last
year. And if they want an Indian option in the middle order, they could go with the young talent of...
But what I want from RCB is whoever they go with the number 5 or number 6, I want them to back them at least for half a season,
good
or
amount of
10 games.
Any day.
A good amount of games. Whether it is Sam Billings or whatever, they need to back him at 5 or 6 for a good amount of games. That's what I want.
Yeah, definitely.
For the keepers should actually have an alternate solution. I believe at number 3 they can go for Sheldon Jackson, and then as a finisher they can invest a bit in Nisham because I think he can be in demand commodity this season, and he has definitely done well in T20s with MI. He did very well with the ball, and if given enough chances, I believe he can create a space for himself with the bat as well.
Right. I'm gonna.
So they also have an underrated option they can get at 5, which is David Miller. He hasn't been the best version of himself in the IPL, but he still has the capability to deliver the goods at number 5, and even somebody like a Vishnu Vinod can give them a keeping option at 5 and 6 if they want.
He also had that synchronization good one with Maxwell. He has played with him before. He has been successful.
Definitely.
And again, the conditions that whether the IPL occurs in Mumbai or it goes next year to Bangalore, both the ground will support him well enough. Small grounds, easy for hitting.
Any day.
If the ball.
So I'm gonna throw in a name there. Don't point fingers at me. Is just a possible solution to replace Washi Sundar if they can't get him back. He's been a key figure in this team. Don't point fingers. How about Shahbaz Ahmed? I was gonna.
They will definitely look to going out because he's.
I think Shahbaz Ahmed is going to be their main choice for number 7 because at number 7, if you get an Indian option, it opens a lot of possibilities. You could get an extra top order hitter in the overseas category. You could even go with 2 overseas pacers like Delhi has done.
Shahbaz Ahmed has been good for them. He has been a handy all-rounder for them.
Actually, he has not been handy with the bat. So
but with the ball, he's covered it. He's covered.
But, I don't
see
think
somebody like Harpreet Brar or maybe Lalit Yadav, somebody of this skill set.
I would disagree with Ved sir because in Bangalore, if somebody has to win you a match, it's got to be from the top 4. Because if you don't get going in the first power play, then it's very, very hard to make a comeback at Bangalore. And except if you're somebody like Andre Russell, who could get 100 runs in the last 8 overs. So if they don't actually need proper batting depth, they need proper batting quality in the top 5. And I think with
but I also think is
like a Warner or an Ear, they'll definitely find that balance and get that top 5 right because
if they
that's
get Warner,
the only way they
balance
will
is
get
anyways being created because you see if they manage to buy Warner, there's Warner, Virat, Maxwell in there, and possibly KS Bharat, Sheldon Jackson, maybe even Mitchell Marsh in there at 3.
But that would make again 3 overseas out of the top.
Okay, Mitchell Marsh. Okay, maybe we take out of the picture. KS Bharat at 3, also a proven batsman. We saw that last year. That's quite a balanced top 4.
What I believe is at number 5 they could push for a Shimron Hetmeyer or Liam Livingstone a little big so that they find a
genuine. I think they won't get Hetmeyer back because Hetmeyer they already released before Delhi bought him.
Yeah.
And he I think just had 150 in that whole season. So
that season he was out of form, particularly.
Yeah, that whole season he was out of form.
Yeah, again,
So
that
I
was the
think
reason. They just backed him for a 4-5 game. That's why I want, if they try a player for that
maybe give
role,
him a
they should
second
at least
chance.
back him for they should
I
at
think they
least
could
back him
go
for a 7 to
for
8
some
game.
newer options. I think
What about
those
Murthy
newer
Ryder?
options, those underrated options will suit Virat Kohli's, not Virat Kohli's now, but RCB very well. They could get somebody like a Dominic Drakes who did very well in the CPL. You could even get somebody from the under 19 setup who's currently playing the World Cup. So by that they could fill in those gaps, get in somebody like somebody who will be your second spinner or your third pacer. Because fitting in those players, making that 11 fit very well is not been very easy for RCB. They get those good players, but they're never able to make that combination right, except in 2016, which they did consistently. So if they can get those players who will fit in and they can get their bench right, so that I think will take RCB a long way, most probably into the playoffs, because they already have Virat Kohli, Glenn Maxwell, who are absolute proven match winners. They'll get them 5 matches, and if you can get those remaining 4 games to qualify, it'll
Well,
be a
qualifying
big thing
hasn't
for
been
RCB.
the problem with RCB for the last 2 years.
Something I have
Qualifying to the
noticed in our
finals.
discussion is that the spin we have selected is Shreyas Gopal and Shahbaz Ahmed. So I think even on a green pitch like Chinnaswamy, there should be at least one proven spinner. So I think that
What
we
I believe
can
is
go towards the direction of somebody like Rahul Chahar, maybe.
Rahul Chahar is certainly a very good option for them, but considering like their focus will be more oriented towards the pacers than getting the spinners. The first priority will be, I think, to fulfill a second pacer alongside Mohammad Siraj, who can bowl well in the death. That will be their top priority right now.
And the only way
they have very few
will,
options left in that role.
Yeah, so the only way I think they will get somebody who is a very good proven spinner is that they convince Virat Kohli to be the captain, and for him to be the captain, they really need Punjab to overbid on Warner and Iyer.
Oh, right. So, okay, we're going to leave it to the viewers now. It's been a long discussion for the Royal Challengers, a very tricky one perhaps. It's going to be a hell of an auction, if I were to say, for all of these teams now. And thanks a lot to this whole panel. We've been there, and we hope that these teams, produce a wonderful, exciting auction. And thanks a lot to the viewers who've been watching us, and hope you keep tuning back into CricExperts, both on Instagram and YouTube. And thanks a lot for watching.